Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we'll be taking a look at the most terrifying games whose visuals are a direct callback to yesteryear. Before we get started, we post new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays and ring that bell to be notified about our latest videos. Sorry, we're closed. Michelle has 3 nights to turn her love life around, or there's hell to pay, quite literally in this case. This stylish throwback blends tank controls, Resident Evil-inspired exploration, and first-person combat into a neon-stained tour, complete with quite the commentary on toxic relationships and one's sense of self-worth. Do you make a deal with the devil, or do you take the road less traveled and find new happiness? The game flaunts its retro taste without losing its modern bite. Come for the attitude, stay for the doom flirting, and the surprisingly sweet relationships. Crow Country. An abandoned theme park turned maze of dread that looks like it rolled straight out of the PS1 era, and we're here for it. You explore Crow Country as investigator Mara Forrest, swapping between exploration mode for puzzle snooping and survival mode when the guests show up to ruin your day. The chunky models and CRT vibes are intentional, feeding into the overall aesthetic. It's eerie, playful, and quietly vicious, carving out a nice little place for itself as one of indie gaming's best horror titles. Anatomy.
Fashion. There is even a fair number of direct comparisons to be drawn between those organs of a house.
Turns out a house can chew you up without ever sprouting teeth. In this short but devastatingly effective scarefest, you wander a suburban home collecting cassette tapes. The first run feels simple. Then the program begins to glitch and restart, room shift, and the recordings turn eerie. Play it again, and the house seems to remember you, and not in a friendly manner. Anatomy weaponizes its lo-fi vibes and the inner assurance one feels in the safety of their home, crawling under your skin and staying there for the duration of the playthrough.
And await, every room becomes a mouth.
Bloodborne PSX. Imagine what Bloodborne would feel like on classic PlayStation hardware. The result is a terrifying love letter to old-school horror. You prowl a low-poly version of Yharnam with tank-style movement, clacky menus, and wobbling textures that make every alley feel diseased. The demake covers central Yharnam through to the Father Gascoigne fight, complete with trick weapons, rally-style health, and a soundtrack that sounds recorded in a haunted basement. The retro look doesn't soften the fear, it sharpens it. Enemies lurch out of shimmering fog, frames jitter, leaving your nerves shredded. While it's understandable why From Software sent a cease and desist, there's no denying how effective and fun this combination of generational gaming nostalgia was. Murder House. Welcome to the lair of the Easter Ripper, where the camera angles don't care about your survival. Fixed shots, tank-style movement, and a VHS filter make this feel like a cursed tape you found behind a counter.
This is a great opportunity for you.
1 minute you're hunting for keys, the next you hear that bunny suit breathing behind a door, and before you know it, you're furniture. Murder House embraces slasher logic and lets the tension simmer while you try not to lose your head. It's a nasty little time capsule, complete with bunny ears and buckets of blood. Nun Massacre. It goes without saying that Puppet Combo have become the crownless kings of retro-inspired slasher titles, with this one likely to give you major heart palpitations. After you brave a storm to check on your daughter at a remote boarding school, you encounter a murderous nun who happens to have better cardio than you ever will. Stealth, sound cues, and cruel mazes are the name of the game here. You can outsmart her, but rest assured, you're just one accidental sprint away from receiving divine punishment from this most unholy maiden. That's fine, we didn't need to sleep anyway. The closing shift. Nothing is scarier than late-night coffee. As a barista pulling a late-night shift, you make lattes for weirdos, clean sticky floors, and pray the stalker outside packs it in and goes home. Newsflash, he won't. The VHS look sells the unease, but it's the realism that stings. Customers complain, management shrugs off your concerns, and your routine slowly curdles into abject terror. There's 3 possible endings that push you to be observant and try to approach every creepy interaction with some level of strategy. It's the rare horror game where taking out the trash feels like a boss fight. Fear the spotlight. Puppet Combo strikes again, with this being their most iconic outing by far. A car crash, an abandoned building, and a whirring sound that will have your soul shriveling, this cult favorite strips classic horror down to pure panic. The low poly look hides ambushes in the corner while you search for a way out. The whole thing feels like a lost tape from a slasher marathon where the low poly textures only compound the fear in the air. Bring nerves of steel and very quiet shoes for this one.
Holy crap! You did it! You killed that thing!
Mouthwashing. A small crew, a busted freighter filled with nothing but crates of mouthwash, and a sinking feeling. Put it all together and you have one of the most unsettling games to ever be conjured. There's no power fantasy here, only a growing sense of anxiety as you piece together the disaster through non-linear scenes, hallucinations, and glitchy visuals that make the walls feel alive. The retro look doesn't so much diminish the horror as it does enhance it, sharpening the psychological sting as hunger, guilt, and bad decisions turn the ship into a living nightmare. When everyone dying in an interstellar crash would have made for a more uplifting outcome, you know things are bleak. Power Drill Massacre. Two teens sneak into their high school for a seance and discover the building has quite the mean streak. Blumhouse's first foray into indie horror games crafts a moody adventure with PS1-style models, tactile puzzles, and a heartfelt story about friendship under pressure. The spotlight stealth twist makes every hallway rife with suspense. While there is a tenderness in how it treats its characters, that only makes the scares sneakier. It's a short, thoughtful, and surprisingly emotional romp that still has plenty of spooks for genre fans to enjoy. Which one of these retro-style horror games scared the pants off of you? Be sure to let us know down in the comments.